Hello and welcome back. Today is the 5th of December, which means it is going to be our 5th Christmas story, and today is based on Disney's Oliver and Company called Christmas is for Friends. When Jenny notices Oliver is feeling down, she decides there is no better time of year than Christmas to gather his old friends together. It's going to be a Christmas to remember. This was published by Autumn Publishing. Let's get into it. A heavy snow fell outside Jenny's Fifth Avenue townhouse, but inside, a blazing fire warmed the luxurious living room. "Look, Oliver," sang Jenny, "we're going to have a white Christmas." Oliver looked up sadly from his cushion by the fireplace. Jenny sat down next to him. "What's the matter, Kitty? Don't you feel well?" Oliver let Jenny pet him, scratch under his chin, but soon he settled back onto his cushion. "I know what's the matter," said Jenny as she reached for a photograph. "You miss your friends." Although they had promised to visit often, Oliver's friend from the barge, Dodger, Einstein, Tissot, and the rest, had not been around in a while. Oliver knew they were probably busy helping Fagin make a living, so Oliver's only animal company came from Jenny's poodle, Georgette, who, although friendly of late, was too snooty to be much fun. "I know what I'll do," thought Jenny. "I'll throw Oliver a Christmas party. That will cheer him up." Her parents were staying with relatives in Europe for the Christmas holiday. With no one around but the staff, Jenny could use some company herself. With the help of Winston, she wrote an invitation to Fagin and the rest of Oliver's friends. Winston printed it in fancy writing on a parchment scroll. To Messrs and Mem, Fagin, Dodger, Rita, Einstein, Francis and Tito, the pleasure of your company is requested for dinner on Christmas Eve, 24th of December, at 6 o'clock in the evening. RSVP, black tie, optional. Winston tied the invitation with a gold ribbon and delivered it to the barge. He found no one at home, so he tied it to the doorknob. Fagin was delighted with the invitation and read it to his friends, who leapt and yipped at the news. "I'll bet there'll be some feed," said Fagin. "I think I can scrape up a black tie for each of us, but I wonder where in the town we can find an RSVP. Jenny, Winston and the staff set about preparing a magnificent Christmas Eve dinner: roast beef, roast goose, roast potatoes and lots of puddings and pies. Winston called in the florist, who draped the walls and staircase with garlands of holly and all ablaze with white tinkling lights. Then they erected an enormous Christmas tree hung with gold and silver baubles and delicious dog bones around the bottom. Jenny went to dozens of shops buying gifts for the Christmas Eve guests. Oliver was delighted to see Jenny with her arms overflowing with gifts. The thought of seeing his old friends made Oliver very happy. On Christmas Eve, everything was ready. "I hope they'll come," said Jenny, looking a little worried. "They didn't RSVP." At that moment, 6 o'clock on the dot, the bell rang. There at the door were Oliver's 6 friends, each wearing a black tie. He was beside himself with joy. Oliver and the dogs chased one another around the room, unable to contain their excitement. All the guests enjoyed an elegant dinner. Little was left but a pile of bones. Afterwards, Jenny sat everyone around the tree and handed out her gifts: a handsome pocket watch for Fagin, a sausage string for Dodger, and a small wicker basket with a lid for Tito to put his tools in. Francis opened a videotape of Shakespeare plays, and Einstein received a comfy pillow for his bed. Rita and Georgette opened their packages and were overjoyed to receive beautiful handmade jumpers. Oliver received a tiny diamond-studded bell, which jingled when Jenny hung it on his collar. "That way I'll always know where you are," she said. Georgette, in her new Agora jumper, looked slightly miffed, but didn't say anything. "And now, Jenny," said Fagin, "it's our turn." He laid out 6 crumpled packages tied with butcher string. "I'm sorry we couldn't find an RSVP," he said. "We looked everywhere." Jenny tried not to giggle. Then she opened the first package. "How nice!" she exclaimed. Her friends had gone to a lot of trouble to give her a cuckoo clock with an exquisite bird, but no chime. She also received a beautiful book of fairy tales with a taped cover, a picture frame with no glass, a one-armed doll who had beautiful eyes and a string of beads with no clasp, and a satin purse with a hole in it. How lovely, she said. She meant it too. 'Twasn't much. Fagin looked down at his scruff shoes. We found 'em all in the bins. I didn't figure you'd spend so much on all of us. Christmas isn't a spending contest, laughed Jenny. I love my gifts. They're all so unique, and I do love... She got no further before, pfft, with a crackling blue flash, every light in the house went out. Speaking of surprises, said Fagin, all these Christmas lights have blown a fuse. I'll try and find a torch, said Jenny. She groped her way across the marble floors. Thump! Jenny bumped into a table that held up one of her mum's prized vases. Whoa! She said as she fell to the floor. Are you hurt? Called Fagin through the darkness. I don't think so, she said. Don't move, Jenny, called Winston. There may be broken shards around you. While Fagin and Winston tried to find Jenny, Tissot, the electrical wizard, sniffed out the faulty fuse, and within minutes the room was once again aglow. I'm all right, said Jenny, and thank goodness so is Mother's vase. I'm glad about the vase, said Fagin. Nice catch, but I'm even more glad that you're in one piece. Thank goodness you were all here, said Winston. We might have spent our whole Christmas in the dark. Thank goodness you were all here, Jenny repeated, because I can't imagine Christmas without you. And that was A Christmas Story. Christmas is for Friends, based on Disney's Oliver and Company. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned to the channel for more Christmas stories coming up throughout December. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you real soon.